So, have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift, or have someone that can literally just drain the life from you? Well, today we're going to talk about staying in that power, protecting your energy, embracing your true authentic self, and becoming your high vibrational force that will allow you to walk into any room and shift the energy. Welcome to another episode of Living Life with James. I'm your host, James, and today I have the amazing, the insightful Dr. Rahb Westmoreland, who is a spiritual mental health guru and just has so much wisdom to share. I cannot thank him enough for his online presence, Instagram, TikTok, the videos, the information that he shares. It resonated with me. I know it resonates with so many people. Dr. Rahb, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, James. Hey, everyone. How you doing?
Speaking of energy,
Yes.
I can already feel the energy with you and just being able to get into it and listen, share a little bit of like professional knowledge, experiences, and be able to cut up and kiki and have a good time while we do it.
Let's do it. I am Rahb Westmoreland. I am born in Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in a home of a nurse practitioner, mother who was a clinic, who was the director of a clinic. I'm a graduate of Capella with a degree in clinical psychology. I work specializing in addiction and trauma. I was a pastor for many years, a closeted person for many years, and a liberated soul that lives in his truth and walks in his life and don't give a damn what nobody else thinks about it. And I'm also high vibrational. And I'm a whole lot of energy when I walk in the room. So when you see me, you know I'm there. I'm the sun that walks into the building.
And people gravitate toward that.
They do. They do. It's scary sometimes.
It can be scary because people are not sure what to do with it.
Right. Yeah. They're not sure what to do with it, but they know it's there. And you're literally what you call, Gabrielle Bernstein called it a super attractor. I call it highly magnetic. And what happens is when you are walking in your truth and walking in the light, you're literally your own solar system. You are the sun and everything around you is revolving around you. So I'll go into a restaurant, it'll be quiet. I'm on a cute little date. And all of a sudden, where the hell y'all come from? So that's that energy. When you finally live in your truth, you operate in this high frequency that sends out these signals of people that need something from you. There's something magnetic about you that's pulling everybody to you. They say spiritually, they say sciences. I remember when I took a physics class, they talked about this. All these different elements about being in your truth, being in your divine self can shift an entire atmosphere.
Now, listen, Dr. Rupp, for you, it comes natural, right? This is who you are. I will say, as I was sharing my personal journey, it's not that easy for people, and they may have this energy, but it's embracing and learning how to sit with being authentic to yourself, how to say F the judgments and the noise, all the noise out there, and say, I'm okay with me.
Yes.
And you've done that, and you've found that, and you started answering my question. You know, one of the things is how you know when you're just shifting the vibe, how you know when that energy is shifting.
There are signs. I mean, you have children that will stare at you. It used to be strange. I would be in the mall and the kid is just staring, and I'm like, could you get your child out my face? Or the dogs that come up to you, or the animals, birds, and I'm like, why am I sitting? I'm not Neo. This is not the Matrix. Why is the bird sitting there and just having a whole, what the hell is going on here? I didn't understand what was going on here. And I started attracting bullies. But I've always had bullies all of my life. Little fat kid, a little fat, effeminate kid growing up in New York City. You always had bullies, but I was always the center of attention. And so I couldn't understand it for many years. I tried to drink it away. I tried to suicide it away. I tried to do so many different things to get it away because it was like a curse. Until the light came on. I started watching Dolores Cannon, and she talked about high vibrational people. And that's when it started clicking. I was like, oh, you are a magnet. And when you embrace it, it stops becoming a curse and it becomes a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay.
You saying that, sorry, my wheels are turning, and I actually did some research. So you, as Dolores was for you, you are for me. So I want to thank you, and you schooling me, and I'm sure millions of people, on this whole idea of being in your high vibrational self.
Mhm.
It just hits.
Yeah.
It hits. It hits different. I was doing research because I was looking at the idea that you spoke on with how children and animals will gravitate. And I was looking this up because I was like, okay, really, what does this mean? And I was breaking it down because, there is this, not just the energy, but I think there's an unspoken, or let me say, with animals and children, they're not conditioned. They're
Right.
not conditioned with societal pressures and meanness and ugliness, right? They just get
Their
what
innocence.
their innocence, and they're attracted to that energy.
Yes.
That level of that vibe, that magnetic part of you that they see.
It's strange because you don't know how it happens. It's like you don't know until you actually realize that. Why are the animals sitting around me? Why are the squirrels? I'm not feeding you. What's going on? I'm in the park and I'm sitting here reading a book, and they're sitting around. What the hell? You got any lottery numbers?
I literally just got done saying to a client, I had this image, I'm dating myself, back in the day, that the TV show Care Bears.
Yes.
And open their shirt and they would say, Care Bear stare, and the
Yes.
light would shine.
Yes.
And you describing that just made me think, right? There's this light, there's this energy that just radiates from you and people that are in their high vibrational self.
Absolutely. And you know what? Not only high vibrational, but mid vibrational people. A lot of people don't talk about the mid vibration. Now, the mid, a lot of times you can be too high vibrational all the time. That can burn you out.
Yeah.
And so I tell people to stay mid vibrational because it gives you room to grow higher and to come back down into your element. And so sometimes you want to be mid vibrational because it can be a lot. You go somewhere, you just want to be low key. You want to go on a date. I was in Target yesterday and I was just like, "You're Dr. Rahb." I was like, I just want to get my EOS lotion. I just came to get my lotion. So hi. But there are times that it can be overwhelming. But embrace it because it works to your advantage. Go on a job interview and they're hiring on the spot. That's happened to me for years. I'll go in, oh my God, we need to have you on the team. Oh my God. Yeah. Use it for your advantage.
Yeah.
Going on a date. You want to get a husband or a wife? Be high vibrational. Show up as your best representative. Show up as your true, authentic representative. And that person has no other choice but to want to be with you. And if they don't want to be with you, they're catfishing. So, if they're authentic,
thank you.
Meets authentic. And when you show up as your true self, and you meet another person walking in their true self, you connect instantly. You're in divine alignment with your mate. And it's getting into this really is helpful. I'm sorry. Whew.
Yeah, no, and I love how you can clearly see you're passionate about it because you walk this truth.
Yes,
right. And I think there's something to be said about it. I am wondering, as you say this, how does someone find their mid-level? How does someone find their high vibrational self? If maybe some people don't even have that. How does one know?
Truthfully, you'll know when you're low vibrational. We'll talk about that element. Low vibrational is negative Nancy, Debbie Downer, always seeing the darkness of the world. They look at the glass half empty, but it's always full. They just can't find anything good in life. That's a low vibration. Mm-hmm. Mid vibration is saying, hey, I know there's some bad in life. I'm going to recognize it and I'm going to accept it. I know I'm going to have trials and tribulations, but I see hope. High vibration is, I don't care what's in my way. It's out of my way. I don't see it. It's like being in the Star Trek and all the stars are going. You don't see anything else around you. You don't see the negativity. Mid vibrational is a little more touchy. High vibrational, you could be a little delulu. You could be delulu lemon in that. So you gotta. That's why I say stay mid vibrational because you need to see the elements of it. You need to see the stars passing by you. You don't need to ignore them. You need to see life's issues behind you. High vibrational, you can tend to be a little delusional, but like, I don't see it. It's not there. No, pay your bills.
Yes, you're right. That's, and so what I'm hearing from you is it's important to have balance through all of
this. Yes.
right? Because we can fluctuate. The reality is a high vibrational person can have a moment of low vibes.
Yes, they can. You absolutely can. You can fall like a rock. And you can have a moment of negativity that will take you into a pattern, and you start believing the frequency and the narrative of the world that you're defeated, and you're the underdog, and you'll end up being low vibrational overnight. So doing the work of showing up authentic is the most important.
So I am, on that note, I'm going to share a little personal journey.
Okay.
Right? Well, I was going to go there. You know, the reality is I would say I've had many moments of being high vibrational, try to stay in that mid-level, right? Or neutral, as I would say. Recently, seeing things online after doing these TV shows that I've done, how people can come for you, how people can try to steal that sparkle, dull that shine, and have brought me into, or I'm sorry, I have allowed them to bring me into these low vibes. And I only say that because there's a whole, I think, platform here for just, I was going to say teens and youth, but the reality is adults too.
Yes.
That could succumb or be brought into this negative energy. And I say that because if I'm a grown man who is a therapist and life coach, and this has affected me and can shift my energy, I can't imagine what other people go through.
Oh yeah.
Being online that don't have these experiences.
I'll have to give you a tutorial on setting up your filters that you'll never see these things, because a lot of comments never come through because they're in the filter. Number two is understanding that just as a moth to the flame, you are attracting low vibrational people who have an energy imbalance and who are struggling with themselves. And because you're walking in your truth and your light, you are the light. You are the literal candle in a dark room for these other people. They just don't know how to take you.
That's what it is.
I see what you are, and I want that. But if I cut you down and tell you that, maybe you can come down to my level. No, thank you. I don't respond to anything below my energy.
I can't tell you. I'm so thankful. You know, we talk about this world of social media and, you know, the positives and the negatives. And I will say for me, the positive has been finding you, finding the algorithm finding me to talk on these types of topics, right? How to stay away from certain types of people, how to not let people drag you down.
Absolutely.
I mean,
on a daily basis, I would get LGBT, this and this and that, this and that, F words, that word. Okay, so tell me how you feel about yourself.
Yep, all that.
Because everything you call me, I am not what you think I am, but you are what you think I am.
Right. Yes.
That's what it is. That's what's really showing up. People are projecting. And so when you are dealing with a low vibrational or insecure person, they're going to throw everything at you because they're screaming for help.
That's what it is.
Just ask.
Sit with that. Sit with that.
Just ask.
Just ask. They're not sure how to interact, how to respond, whether it's a lack of education, a lack of experience, or there's something, what projection, or they're gravitating to you, but they're not sure how to respond.
They don't know how to respond. It's like when a man sees a beautiful woman, he gets dumb, or he just gets awed, usually dumb too. And it's just, mouth is open. Yeah, you don't know what to do when you come into the presence of someone who's high vibration.
And what do we say in those moments? Use your words.
Use your words.
Use your words.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, you know, to your point, if I maybe have this go-to of how to interact with people that I'm not used to interacting with, whether it's a staple, a mantra, something I can say or do to be able to communicate that.
Yes.
Opposed to coming from this place of low vibrations and meanness and ugliness, right? I mean.
And a lot of times I feel bad for them. I have a little more grace for low vibrational people than other people, because it's almost like in the Matrix. These people are living under a programming of a narrative that tells them that they're nothing, that life is horrible. And so I come from a place. One thing about being high vibrational is you begin to build a recipe for compassion for other people, and it's like, oh, poor baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Poor baby. you're really going through this. You're really struggling with yourself. And my light is just really exposing all those things you felt about yourself. And now I have to understand that I have to be a little compassionate and say, okay, it's okay, tink tink.
Yeah, well, your compassion,
Mhm.
empathy, right, and your experiences,
Yes.
right,
It's
to
okay
allow.
because I've been there. I've been low vibrational, so I know what you're thinking. I have a master's degree in low vibrationalism, so I know what it is to be there. So it's like I know what it is not to be in the world. I know what it is to be confused. I know what it is to walk in darkness. And so I am not going to. I'm not part of an elite group because I'm high vibrational now. It's either I can give you a hand and help you come up, or let you stay there.
There you go. And this is where your background or our backgrounds come in with mental health
Yeah.
and or spirituality. The question, and I say that because my question was how to help or guide get someone from this low vibrational to at least a mid-level, right? When someone is stuck in that space, clearly being able to sit with them, that compassion, that empathy, but also offering them certain tools and skills to say, this is how we're going to lift you up, boo boo. This is how we're going to get you out of this place.
Yeah, I started offering classes on TikTok to help people with these things because you know everyone can't afford it. They cannot afford to have a session with me. They can't afford to have this. They may not have insurance, and so I offer classes on live on how to raise your vibration, how to change your thinking, how to get into positive thinking. Here are the books you should get. Here's your arsenal that's going to help you come up higher. You know, that is something we have to do because once you get it, you should be able to give it.
Yes. Yes.
Let's not turn our backs on people because we're no longer there anymore. It's like it's an old analogy that we use in the African American community. You left the hood, but the hood is still in you. Well, don't forget about your people in the hood. Help them get out the hood. So
Pay it forward,
pay it
right?
forward. You know what I mean?
I
So
got these resources.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to extend them on to you.
yes. So here's some classes for you. And I did a live last night on shadow work, and so many people were like, "I never knew I was just low vibrational like this."
Mhm.
And it helps people realize that hey, that I can come up, I can change my thinking, I can change the channel of the frequency that I'm listening to, that to a
All,
better frequency that's telling me there's hope,
all
there's a
of that.
vision. So when you give those tools to people, they do better. And so like for instance, I have like about 300 clients, and they about 50% of them have gone through my 6-week therapy program to get out of that nasty thinking into this good high vibrational thing because and I want them to see results. And so if you're willing to do the work, we're willing to help you.
There you go.
So that
Showing up,
yeah.
coming here and saying, I would like the help. Yeah, as you say that, I'm thinking about my experiences in cognitive behavioral therapy and,
Mhm.
list of resources to help people. Conversely, I think the other important piece is using those skills and tools to keep someone in the mid to high range as well, because that can go away depending on your life situations,
Yes.
right? Or people you may encounter, or relationships, or family members that can just strip it away in a heartbeat.
Oh
We have to
yeah,
protect
absolutely. It's important that we give the people not only the tools but provide maintenance because we do have all moments to back what I call backslide. It's
that.
like, okay, yeah, I have a moment. Oh, I had a bad day at work, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting on the couch eating bonbons or Haagen-Dazs, and I'm watching the news, and all these sloth things are going into my mind, and I'm back to where I was 10 years ago.
I think at least that's what I'm noticing in my practice, what we're dealing
Mhm.
with right now.
Yes.
Whether it's politics, religion, a shift in the world, people are not
Oh.
uh, prepared to handle these things.
They're not prepared, especially you said a key word, shift. And this shift is happening right now all over the world. I've been recently giving out what I call a clarion call to people that are looking for a sense of community, spiritual community, God
Mhm.
without religion. Religion, and I don't, I'll put a disclaimer, I'm not anti-religion, but I realize the religion can be detrimental to the human soul and it can be detrimental to someone's growth. In a lot of ways, the dogma, people are tired of hearing about that angry God who wakes up every day angry, mad, happy. I love you today. I don't love you. He loves me not. I can't deal with that type of energy anymore. And that's a low vibrational God. So, you know,
Well, your point, again, meeting people where they are, whether it's religion or spirituality,
mhm,
right? Or saying, I'm not sure I don't have any of these things, or I'd like to have some of these things. Being able to support somebody where they come in.
right. And that's what I do. Because being a pastor, a former pastor, is I'm able to relate to the Christians and meet them where they're at, my Jewish audience, my Muslim audience, all these different audiences. I meet them where they're at. So anytime I do a live, I'll bring verses from their reading and use it as a relation to help them, because it is about meeting people where they're at. But it's also knowing that there's a collective voice that's louder and that's really broadcasting right now, that people are sensing the shift in the air.
Mm-hmm. And what to do with it.
Right.
I'm not sure how to handle it, or this is how I'd like to be prepared, or how I'd like to navigate that shift.
Yes. And so it is a moment that is challenging me. We just recently started here in Chicago a spiritual community, and I was reluctant to do this. I was like, I'm not doing this. Yeah. Don't make me a pastor. I'm not a pastor. I don't want to be a pastor anymore. And so, we just recently put together a team of 3 leaders we will collectively facilitate this community and allow people to come as they are and answer these questions that they need. I don't have all the answers, but we can find out the answer together.
There's something about that team, that support, yes, that guidance, right? Yes. That everyone can benefit from.
Yes. Because the answer is always in the room. It doesn't have to be the head of the room.
I like that. You have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to mental health and spirituality, and this platform that you are part of, it just sounds like it could be, I was going to say a godsend. That may not have been the proper. It's really helpful, right? Mm-hmm. And it's nice to know that this is there for people that could use the resource.
Absolutely. And it was something I wish I had. I remember being in a church where my leader told me God hated me and God would use me and God would never do this and God was going to kill me and God is going to do, years of therapy, of a deprogramming of a low vibrational system and of a religious dogma that literally had me suicidal, because I just was like, God hates me. So if God hates me, then I'm just going to be an atheist. God hates me and I might as well not live. You know what I mean? So it's necessary for people to have a place, a space, a sacred space of freedom that will allow them to be themselves without judgment.
I mean, you're saying all this, and I can relate 100. I mean, this is a whole separate spin-off right? Yeah. Just being able to relate, just being able to experience what spirituality is, especially coming from a world of maybe some not so good, low vibrational religious experiences, right, unfortunate or not, right? Just how we show up today.
Correct. Right.
And so I thank you. I thank you for being able to share that story. And I'd love to continue with just talking about that topic.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering, gosh, so many areas to go in because so many messages you have. One that really stands out for me is this whole topic on gaslighting.
Oh God, my favorite one.
Well, listen, it's a buzzword.
Yes.
I'm coming off of a TV show where I've heard everyone throw around gaslighting. He's gaslighting me. She's gaslighting me. I'm seeing it all over social media. And I'm bringing it back to a moment that you said, my mama used to say, right? Go blow smoke up someone else's. Right?
Yes.
Listen, I'd say the cuss word in a minute, but on many platforms, I'm not sure who would throw me off the platform. But I feel you. And to be quite honest, my mom and I come from a background where people would say the same type of thing.
Yes.
So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this whole idea of when you say this concept of go blow smoke up someone else's butt. I don't have time for this. What that is doing and what that means, not just for the topic of gaslighting, but for the topic of your own self and mindset.
We have to understand that gaslighting is psychological abuse. We have to understand that someone is manipulating and making another person question their own reality. Go blow smoke up someone else's behind. This is what I saw. This is what you said. Try someone else. Try Jesus, but not me.
Not me.
Okay, you're not going to make me feel confused, embarrassed, or dependent on you as an abuser of your narrative and your story. So right now, I'm taking ownership. This is what I heard, saw, and felt. Stop.
Say it again. Say it again.
Somebody else's wahoozy, but not mine.
Because listen, you saying that, I feel power. I feel empowered.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, I think people that are pulled into this may feel a lack of confidence.
Yes.
They may feel a lack of, self-worth. They are not empowered. And so it's easy to be manipulated or caught in this, power and control wheel.
Yes. Power control.
Power and control. And so this is what I say in my sessions, these aren't cures, but these are tools. Here's your toolbox.
Here's your tools.
And saying that, go blow smoke up somebody, that's a tool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you have to hit people back with that. I remember being in a relationship and they told me, they actually cursed my mother. Oh, you're like that crazy, blah, 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 your mother. I said, what did you say? I need you to repeat what you said. You're like your crazy mother, you're blah, 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 blah. Okay, I heard it twice.
Yeah.
I confirmed it. And later on, when I said, why would you say that? I never said that. You said it to me twice. Blow smoke up somebody else's behind. You said that to me twice. I had you repeat it. Don't tell me my reality and play in my head and think I'm goofy and dumb that I don't know what you just said to me. You repeated it twice.
Yeah.
And you catch those people because that's a form of manipulation. Oh, baby, I love you. I would never say those things. You're a liar and you're a liar and a sack of crap. Stop.
Translation. Go blow smoke. Translation. I stand in my power. I know my truth.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to let you take this from me.
Right.
I'm empowered. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this line. Let's use that as a tool.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It's a tool. Go blow smoke up somebody else's wahoo.
Which is going to lead me into this other notion of the art of war.
Oh, okay.
Can we get into it?
Sure.
I need a drink for this one.
You might need a drink for this one. The Art of War. And most people think I'm using the book, but it's a series about how to deal with narcissists.
Yeah.
How to deal with narcissism. And so I'm giving people tools from dark psychology. And I'm showing them from the dark psychology perspective of how people manipulate them and how narcissists bring them into their world. And here's how you combat that. This is how you look at the situation. This is the perspective that when someone says, I think you're beautiful, they're love bombing you to get something out of you. They're manipulating you. All these different tools that are used to grab the attention and the control of another person to make them to surrender to their needs. I'm giving you the tools on how to combat it.
Yeah.
And so,
or the opposite, Dr. Rob, instead of love bombing, people are just nasty and negative and saying hurtful, mean things to you.
Yes.
And watching how you respond.
Correct.
And thinking about when someone comes at you, right? Oh, they're coming for me.
Right.
And the art of war in this situation is how to not only diffuse the situation, but how to come back almost maybe with some style and grace and say, hell no, you are not stealing the keys to my car, my thunder. You are not going to strip me of being empowered. And your response would be like what? What would be the art of war for somebody coming at you and being negative and saying hurtful things?
The art of war response would be, are you okay today? You appear to be going through some things.
Yeah.
Do you need prayer? Would you like a cup of coffee? What's going on with you?
They're not ready for that.
No.
Because
another one is, you're ugly. I think you're beautiful. I think you're wonderful. And I think you are saying things that is just not of your nature. Do you realize how wonderful you are as a human being?
That right there. Right. That right there. Because listen, the goal here is to just bring you to my level, to get you to be negative, to get you spiraling.
Yes.
And you put up this barrier, this force field. And to me, that says, no, you're not bringing me to the low vibrational side. I'm standing in my truth.
Yes. Yes.
And here's a coaching and therapy concept. I'm staying emotionally regulated. Because the first thing we want to do, I've had many of these experiences. You want to react. What the? You talking to me, right? And you're getting me.
Well, hold on. I know you're not talking to me.
Right. And you say, no, I'm not going there.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going. I'm going to come back with a compliment. I'm going to come back with something that's going to shift your wheels and get you thinking differently.
Absolutely. LG in Queen's vernacular, there's something called reading. And we take that read
Yeah.
And shade comes from reading, right?
Yes.
So we take that element, instead of reading them back in filth, we read them back in grace.
There you go.
You're wonderful, absolutely. Do you know how wonderful you are? And what you're saying doesn't match that wonderful part of you. I won't tell you who you are.
Because here's the tea. When we're watching these TV episodes, reality TV, people want to see giving it back and cattiness, right? And reading and being shady. Of course it's fun. But the reality is, if the cameras aren't on you, it stings.
And it stirs people up. It's tearing them down.
It's tearing them down. And you have to protect yourself. And this is just another tool to say, no, 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 no. Boo, I'm not going there with you. I can't.
Right. You know, that's below my energy to give you your energy back. You are low vibrational. I'm high vibrational. I have to return with a high vibrational thought. The high vibrational thought is, you're better than that.
Absolutely.
I'm so disappointed that you actually would say that. I thought highly of you.
You know, these are some great lines. It takes practice. You know, just like we're joking and saying the art of reading. There's a good read there, right? Absolutely. And people can learn it from experience, from wisdom, from being around the block, but also the art of style, grace, and how you're going to present yourself and how you're going to come back when you are in this high emotional place.
Yes. You know, I take a read from Margaret Thatcher. She said, and I love what Margaret Thatcher, when she would say this. She said, being a lady doesn't tell itself. If you have to tell me who you are, then maybe you aren't.
And this goes back to when? Okay, Margaret. Yeah.
And so you have to use those moments to say, it's an opportunity to call them out in a graceful way and say, you're better than that. I expected more from you.
Because the big picture is, how do I want to walk away from this situation? Do I want to walk away from this situation feeling like I'm crazy, feeling like I'm spiraling, feeling like you've just stripped me of everything that I am? No, that's not how I want to walk away.
First, we said this as kids: sticks and stones, and sticks and stones.
My bones.
But words will never hurt me. They will hurt you. They'll hurt you if you allow them to hurt you. They will hurt you if you don't know your identity. They will hurt you if you don't have the calm, cool, and collectedness about yourself. They will hurt you. But if you realize you know who you are, it's not what you call me, it's what I respond to.
All of that. I'm glad you said that, because here's the thing. I think we're from a certain generation that kind of gave us these little sayings and mantras, and we were able to take them and build on them and to enhance and improve them so they work for us today.
Yes. Absolutely. And having Judy Garland as mothers to teach you things. So
listen, wisdom, experience, life experiences, our education, our backgrounds, all of these things showing up to say, and you sprinkle that with, you know, newer generations and social media and the things that we're learning and seeing that I think we can take in, use to our favor, and be able to help kind of lift us up, stay high vibrational, stay in our authentic selves, and live the best life that we can.
Absolutely. You have a chance to do it. Every day you get up, you have a new chance to renew that and to live in that. And you have an opportunity to teach that to others and be of example. And so I make it my business. I didn't ask to be a social media influencer, but I'm in the seat right now. And so I have to lead by example and live it in the truth way. So that is something I have to take responsibility for.
I love that you're in the seat, because you have so much to offer. And that just reminded me, I'd love to be able to talk about staying true to who you are, living your authentic self. You came across my screen at the perfect time in my life, and without getting emotional about it, because it really it hits me. You and your presence and your words have really affected me. So first, I want to say thank you for that. I had and still have moments, and it's a learning process of staying true to who I am, and authenticity. I say that because I'm out as a gay man. I am a mental health professional, a life coaching professional, and recently having done TV. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up again is because I struggled with this idea of, James, this is what a professional needs to look and sound like. And then I was going back to thinking and hearing my friends and all of my, sisters and friends back on the East Coast saying, James, you need to show up and give it to them and talk like we do.
Right.
Be yourself.
Right.
And I'm like, how can I be a professional? How can I be this mental health buttoned up professional, but also keep it real and laugh and have fun and be true to who I am?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
There
And
you
that's
go.
the key element. And so we know how to shift and we know how to change our language in different areas because that's what we've had to do.
Yeah.
That's how we had to get through our teenage life, our college life, and all these different things and the different lives we had to live. So we know how to shapeshift. And so you know how to show up authentic and know how to say it and get the point across. And so with me, people think I cuss all the time, but literally I don't. And it's like I can cuss like a sailor if I need to, but I also know in certain places I need to just speak very professional and get to the point.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I know how to meet different people, friends, family, clients, kind of where they are. And it's not because I'm not being true to who I am. It's because as you just said beautifully, I've learned to be this chameleon, and all of those different parts make up who I am today.
Absolutely.
I could sit here and be professional with you, and then I could kiki and have a good old time and cut up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that keeps you authentic because you don't feel like you need to compromise yourself. You're showing up as yourself.
100%. And not many people, not many people know how to respond to that. And some people need it to be black and white.
Right.
I need you to show up in this space all of the time and not show any variation.
Right. A lot of people can't take that. Now, people that I work with, they don't understand that I can be extremely an introvert. And they were like, but you give public speeches. Yeah, but most of the time I'm quiet. I'm in my head all the time. I'm thinking, I'm perceiving, I'm doing different things. So I'm in another world. And so when I thought around you was going to be a good scene and we were going to have a good laugh. We're at work.
Yeah, absolutely. And the truth is, I think we're around certain people that our energy plays off of.
Yes.
I've been noticing that recently with just people that I come into contact with, that certain people just bring out this energy.
Yeah. There's what I call the good girlfriend energy, and then I call the professional good girlfriend energy, and then I call it the we gonna kiki after work energy. Everybody doesn't get that part of me. And it's okay. And I think people are expecting that all the time. It's like, no, everybody doesn't get to see that part of me. Those are sacred moments, and those are for people that is reserved for. And don't take it personal.
That's what it is. You just said it perfectly. I wrote down a question that I have to ask you. What's the shift you noticed in your life when you fully leaned into your authenticity?
Oh, I accepted myself fully. I could really go into the mirror and not have the best body in the world and still say everything is good.
Wow. That right there.
Everything is good. I don't have to have the six-pack. I can have a dead body and still listen. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how real this is about accepting yourself. I can walk down the street in Chicago and turn 54 heads.
That energy.
It's the energy that I carry. Okay. Male, woman, everything, dogs, cat, all that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When you accept who you are and embrace who you are, it gives nobody else a choice but to accept and embrace who you are.
People feel that. Listen, this, I think, is probably one of the most powerful messages and tools that anyone can hear. How to be able to, and again, this is going to be a follow-up. I would love to talk to you more about that. Definitely. Staying and owning that, because I can't tell you how many people come seeking therapy, coaching, for you, I'm sure spiritual coaching, all of these things with embracing who you are. And that example right there, looking in the mirror, accepting. I was going to say everyone across every community, but specifically in the LGBTQ plus community, people feeling like they always have to compare themselves. I mean, I'm sure it's society in general, but what this looks like, the muscle, the appearance, the face, right? And having to serve it all, and yet feeling like you're not comfortable with yourself.
Right. And you have 100 surgeries and you work out 300 million times and you still can't get a man. Yep. Because you really haven't accepted yourself. You really have sent out the vibration is, I really don't like myself, but I want you to please like me. Please like me.
Absolutely. There's a specific book, and the idea is how I'm not overcompensating, because those are moments of overcompensating because I'm not okay with myself.
Right. Right. And you can say, let me give you a prime example, because there's a bear community, and the bear community, they just have fun. Bare bellies, everything scruffy, and
they me. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. And they have long-term relationships.
There's something to be learned about mindset and where you are and authenticity.
They know a secret.
Yeah.
So twinks and every muscle boys and gym bodies, you might want to learn something over there. Yeah. Because they've accepted who they are and they're having long-term relationships and they're loving themselves and they're walking around shirtless and everything and don't care. We have to take the time to water our spiritual gardens and our minds by putting back kind words and getting in the mirror and truly saying, I accept all of this. And if I accept all of this, then gosh, somebody in this universe will accept all of this.
I'm grabbing a mic. Drop the mic, Dr. Rob. You know, as you say that, here's the thing. It takes time and practice, and it's rewiring the brain. Right? We're rewiring the brain to say, this feels true to me.
Yes.
Right? I have to live it. You know, there have been, you know, the movie, I am smart. I am beautiful.
I am kind. Yes.
And there's something about that. And, you know, I'll even joke and say, okay, you write on the bathroom mirror with your lipstick, all these affirmations.
Right.
However, it's not until you live it and you reprogram your brain and your beliefs that then feels true.
Yes.
So go back to this idea of sitting with it and it being true. And now I'm walking across the streets of NYC and Chicago and I'm feeling strong and confident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It shows up.
All of it. All of it.
It shows up. That's where the human magnet comes in. Mm-hmm.
There you go. And listen, I want to continue these conversations because we could get a 5-hour podcast.
Okay.
I want to leave. I wrote down some just closing things that I have to ask you.
All right.
And I made some notes. You have an amazing energy. You are magnetic. I want to know, how do you recharge in situations when you're feeling drained?
I have to do what I call the cocoon. There are days that I need to literally cut off social media, cut off television, and just really sit with myself and say, and remember who I am. Yeah. The recharge comes with, hey, let's go hang out, friends. Let's go somewhere and let's just have a good time. The recharge comes with, I need to read a book. The recharge comes with, I need to sit and meditate. The recharge comes, I need to sit and do my affirmation. The recharge comes, I need to get before my altar and remind myself of who I am and what I am. Those are my times of recharge. You have to take time for yourself. If God can rest, you can rest.
There you go. There you go. You just said it beautifully. Not just said it beautifully, you gave us some examples, right? Whether I want to sit on the couch with a cookie and some ice cream, or I'm going to do some meditation, or I need to get out of the house and walk around the block. I have to take time for me. Absolutely. Yeah. Dr. Rob, if you could give one piece of advice to someone maybe feeling lost in their spiritual journey, what would that be?
The biggest thing I can tell you is sit somewhere quiet and listen to your inner, still, small voice. That is that element of you. That is that piece of God, piece of universe that broadcasts to you hope. Sit quiet and hear the still and small voice inside of you. And as you get quiet, it will get louder. And that will be your primary voice of hope. And it will give you a rope out of your darkest situation. Be still and know that God is in you.
That was beautiful. You know, the mere fact of just being able to sit still and sit with ourselves and try to listen to that voice, that can be work in itself. So thank you for reminding us to be able to have those moments.
Yes, it's important. That's what helped me out of the dark night of the soul and all these different situations I've had in my life, was just that be still, sit with it, and listen, because what's on the inside of you is louder than the external world. So
one of my friends that I've actually met doing the TV show, her name's Heidi. She uses that line a lot, and I love it. Just sit in it. Sit in your ... Just sit with all of this, and taking that and being still. I think there's something to be said. Last question for fun. What's your go-to high vibe song? When you need to shift your energy.
Okay, so I will play Miguel Miggs with Lisa Shaw. The song is called Ultimate High. This was my workout song, and it's think circa New York City, 2001, the Limelight Club. This is one of those type of songs, and it gets you up dancing. Ultimate high, ultimate high.
Listen,
that's my song.
I literally just had this conversation with someone from 90 Day who I've connected with, and we got some NYC and Jersey roots together. And I just sent her a message and I said, oh my gosh, you're taking me back to NYC circa 2000s in these clubs. And I said, Limelight, listen, I'm gonna stop this here. We're gonna take this conversation off record, because oh my God, I think we have so many same experiences, and wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I would absolutely love to do a follow-up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love your energy. Thank you for these tools. Thank you for helping us remember how to shift, how to stay in our mid to high vibrational self, how to battle and combat those low vibrational people, or if we get to that low vibrational place, how to bring ourselves up. Thank you for the tool on talking about protecting our energy. Thank you for giving us your words of wisdom, Mama's words of wisdom, for how to deal with some of these people in our lives. I think it's so important, and it's much needed. Yes. And we need to laugh and have fun with it throughout this. It doesn't have to be so heavy and buttoned up professional.
Please. You have to have balance in life and have lots of laughs. In the words of Julia Child, a little bit of everything, no seconds.
Not with the accent. I live. Dr. Rahb, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your time, and I look forward to more talks.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.